Hi! So today I am going to show you what we're doing with our eggs, what project. I'm really excited about painting some flowers on our eggs just in time for Easter. So the things that you're going to need with you today are your watercolor paints, a paintbrush that is a round paintbrush, your eggs, of course, the water, a permanent pen of some sort, and then also you're going to want to have a hair dryer or blow dryer so that you can go ahead and dry the paint by each step. And just so that you don't have to listen to my blow dryer, I have already done eggs so that I can just move through it quickly. But as you're going through your steps, when you need to dry a layer of paint, you can just pause this video. That way you can not miss anything and go ahead and dry your paint. So if you have paint colors that are in the more pastel family, that would be awesome, because we do tend to think of pastel colors for Easter. But if you don't, even if you just have like a regular Crayola watercolor set, those reds or blues or purples would be great as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start demonstrating. This first layer of the flower that we're going to do is the layer that's farther away, and we want it to be the lightest. So when we take whatever color we're choosing, I'm going to work with pinks for this purpose, but you can choose whatever color you'd like. But whatever color we choose for this first layer, we want to have a lot of water in our paint palette so that it shows up lighter on the egg. And I'm not really drawing a specific shape, just kind of trying to cover this part of the egg with some color. Again, going back in for more water, and just kind of a blob here. It doesn't have to look like a flower at this point. So, okay, so that's pretty much it. And then at this point, I would go over to my blow dryer, and I would, maybe you might need a parent's help with this. I would keep my air on low if there's a low setting, and I would continue to move the egg around like this so that as the air is pointing the water, it's going to point it towards the flower and not out. Otherwise you'll get some runoffs, which I didn't succeed at in all my eggs, so you'll probably see those runoffs later on. But so I'm going to put this to the side. This would be a point where you might want to pause your movie as you're watching it and go do that. So now I have my first layer dry and ready to go for my second layer. I'm going to go back in with the exact same color, but this time I'm going to pick up less water and more of the actual paint so that when I paint it on, it's darker. And I'm painting a smaller shape within my larger shape, and once again it is just kind of a blob. It's not really flower looking yet. So at this point I would use my blow dryer again, and I would make sure that that is all dry before moving on to the next part. So here you can see that I have my two layers, my lighter layer and my darker layer. And now I'm going to go in with another color. I'm going to go in with orange, and just that is going to be kind of the center of my flower. So I'm just going to do a little dot with that. And I want the color to not have a lot of water in it. I want a lot of paint on it so that it will show up against my darker pink color. So then I would once again take my blow dryer and dry that until it was completely dry. So now you can see some of my runoffs there. My lighter, my darker, my orange. This one didn't get a whole lot of pigment. I probably used too much water in it. But now I'm going to go ahead and make a leaf on the side of my egg flower here. So I'm going to just use my green, and with not a whole lot of water, go ahead and draw kind of a leaf shape in there and fill that in. And I'm only going to do that on one side, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. So once again, I would go to my blow dryer and I would make sure that that's completely dry before going on to the next step. So here I've got my completed flower, my first lighter layer, my second darker layer, my middle orange color, and my leaf. And so now I'm ready to actually go ahead and use my pen to outline the flower and the leaf. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And it does not have to be exact. Some of the charm of this is that you're going to not outline it perfectly. And the thing that I love most about watercolors is that it's meant to be nice and loose. And there's really no way to be perfect at it. And I really like that it's very forgiving. So I'm going to do my leaf now, and I'm going to add a line in the middle of my leaf. And then in the middle here, you could do one of two things, and I have an example for both. You could either kind of do a swirl or scribble in the middle there, or like I've done over here, I've drawn kind of a poppy look to it where I've got 3 dots and then lines coming in. So the reason why we only did one leaf is that now you're ready to turn your egg over and do another flower on the same egg. So you should have 6 eggs with you, and you can do 2 flowers per egg and use lots of different fun colors. And in the end, you're just going to have some really pretty eggs that maybe your mom wants to display for Easter, or maybe you want to gift them to someone or keep them and play with them. So that is the painted egg tutorial, and I hope that you guys have a lot of fun with this. Thanks!